Instagram. Well, 0-0, full time, penalties, win by Liverpool. Kelleher, the hero, Quiva Kelleher, the Corkonian Irish goalkeeper, was the hero with some great saves. What a goalkeeper we have in our hands. Pity, well, Alisson's #1 in the world, I suppose, so it's going to be hard for him to get in. But when you call on him, especially in penalties, he is really, really good. As I say, he's been the hero tonight. One or two really good young lads. Ben Doak coming on as a late sub, of course, making his, making his big debut. Calvin Ramsey looked really good. He was probably the one for me who stood out. Bjaticic in midfield was really, really good as well. Some really good performances from some of the young lads there tonight. And as I say, we'd one or two chances near the end. I mean, Bobby should have scored with a header. We'd a few other chances. Nunes came on late. But Bobby came on late to probably try win it. We'd one or two chances. Their keeper pulled off a few good. Wild Smith, I think his name is, pulled off one or two really good saves. Ben Doak is fearless and faster than Elliott. Yeah, he's good. This guy is going to be, wow. This guy is going, this Ben Doak guy, we signed him from Chelsea. I think he was only 17 2 days ago. Was it Monday? He was 17. 17 2 days ago when he comes on. Could have even had a goal, to be fair. But we won on penalties. That's the main thing. We're through now to the fourth round. That was a tough run out for the lads, but a great experience for the young lads. Look, Calvin Ramsey looked really calm and composed tonight. He looks like a proper player at right back. He was brilliant. Defensively, we were okay, although to be fair, Derby didn't do a huge amount. Did a few half chances. But a win's a win. Penalties, we know what penalties are like in the League Cup, don't we? Especially with Kelleher. He's the hero, and he's the hero. The hero again tonight. Charlie Kelleher was amazing. LJ, get in, Dave, says LJ. Ben Doak, yes, absolute legend. Salvatore, hi Dave, did you watch it? I searched online, found a few on FA, but kept freezing. Yeah, I had it. I hadn't got it on television. I had it on my phone. I had it on a laptop. A few different sites watching bits. I missed a bit, it froze a bit because it wasn't on the normal Sky Sports BT or terrestrial type TV channels, so I couldn't see it all of it. I seen most of it. Seeing all the chances we had and stuff like that. But the big thing for me, that the big one tonight was Calvin Ramsey. He looked probably the best player on the pitch, to be fair, didn't he? He really did. I had to illegal stream this match in India, says LJ. Yeah, it's a weird one. I know Chelsea City was on. I suppose Chelsea and City was the big one. We'll get the score lines up here, but City beat Chelsea. To be fair, I watched that game as well. I had that game on the telly. I had the Liverpool one on the laptop. The Chelsea game, Chelsea had 2 or 3 unbelievable chances when it was 0-0 and didn't take them. Then City went up the other end, scored 2 goals. So City go through. Spurs are out. Nottingham Forest beat Spurs. I mean, that was a weird one. Arsenal are out. Brighton beat them 3-1. Now, I know they only played weekend sides, and Arsenal probably have their eyes on something else going, listen, we have a chance to win the league here, an outside chance. That's what we're going to do. So you can understand that. But let's just go in and I'll give you, see if I can give you a few... see if I can give you a few results as well. And that was a lot of penalties, an awful lot of penalty kicks tonight. But as I say, hit the like, hit the share. We've 8 or 9 people in, only three likes. So we just go through the EPLs. Blackburn knockout West Ham. So I mean, a lot of Premier League clubs going out tonight. Here we go. Arsenal 1, Brighton 3. Arsenal are out. Newcastle 0. Newcastle win 3-2 on penalties like us. So Newcastle are through on penalties against Crystal Palace. Forest beat Tottenham 2-0. That was a big win for Forest. Southampton have beaten Sheffield Wednesday 6-5 on penalties. West Ham 2-2, but Blackburn win 10-9 on penalties. Wow, that was some penalty shootout. So Blackburn beat West Ham 10-9. Wolves beat Leeds 1-0. Leeds are more worried about staying up, I suppose, in the league. Liverpool won 3-2 on penalties after a 0-0 draw, of course. And then City beat Chelsea by 2 goals to 0. So a lot of penalties tonight. I'm always wondering when the draw is anyway for the fourth round, but we've got a big game on Saturday, Southampton. We're going to have a little quick chat about FSG as well. But the main thing is Liverpool are through to the next round. It wasn't a great performance. It was a young side anyway. It was a really young side. Great experience for the lads. You won't get that experience at a packed house in Anfield. Pitch, everything ready to rock. Ben Doak, you'll remember tonight. Calvin Ramsey, you'll remember it. Young Fredo, young young Leighton Stewart, all these type of Clark, all these type of players that played will remember tonight, and that's as good as you're going to get. You can't buy that. So that was huge for those guys tonight. And the main thing was to get through. You didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to, with the holders as well. I didn't want to lose. I wasn't too worried about it, to be fair. It wasn't the biggest thing on my mind. Let's say I'm more worried about Southampton on Saturday. We need 3 points there. I'm thinking about the FSG thing. Who's going to come in? Who's not going to come in? This DIC from Dubai Investment Capital seems to be the ones. Other than that, it's going to be an American owner, but we shall see. There's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of chat about it, so we shall see. As I said, I'm coming on here for instant match reaction. Liverpool into the next round of the Carabao Cup. I think the draw's tomorrow night, is it, or is it Friday? United play Villa tomorrow night, so there's one more game to be played. But a lot of big teams got out. I was hoping City would go out tonight, and Chelsea were playing well enough. I mean, Chelsea were in the final with us last year, which we won on penalties, and Kelleher was the hero that night too. And of course, Kelleher was the hero tonight. He's really good at penalty saver, and he's a really calm, composed goalkeeper. Irish goalkeeper, of course, but he really needs to be playing more, though. That's the only problem I would have with Kelleher, like playing for Ireland as well. I mean, Bassuma's their other goalkeeper. He plays for Southampton all the time, even though Southampton are terrible, but he's still playing the Premier League all the time. Whereas Kelleher, he's only getting bit part games, and with Alisson ahead, it's going to be very, 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 very hard for him, you know. He's the draws now. Is okay, hold on. Maybe we can do the draw then. If the draw is now, we will try get it up on them. If the draw is soon, I might even turn on the telly, but keep the volume down so I don't get copyrighted, you know. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can get the telly on. Is the draw on now? Sorry, is the draw on now? I thought you said the draw was on now. LFC TJ. No, I think they wait. I think it's Friday night or Thursday night after the United game. I don't think it's on now, the draw. Because United play Villa tomorrow night. They used to do it on a Friday night, didn't they? Was that the FA Cup maybe I'm thinking about? I don't bloody know, to be fair. But we're in the next round anyway. That's the most important thing. It was 0-0, one on penalties. Dave, one thing, Dubai International will buy Liverpool. Dubai, yeah, maybe, what is it? Dubai Investments Capital, something like that. I think they call it DIC, Dubai Investment Capital. We'll see what happens there. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of rumours, there's a lot of stuff. If you're on Twitter, you're on social media. I've read so much crap today, so a lot of it's crap. I mean, even Conor McGregor's thrown his name in the ring. Would you stop? Absolute bullshit, Conor McGregor. I think he's worth 120 million or something. We need 4 billion, we need 3 billion to buy it, or 3.5, whatever, and another maybe 500 million over 2 or 3, 4 years to invest. So where the hell are you getting the money from? I mean, 150 million wouldn't even buy a car park at Anfield, you know, so that's not going to happen. Unless he's a few billionaire friends. But I think McGregor's a United fan anyway, so forget about it. See him on Twitter today. It was just silly. But yeah, it looks like DIC. I mean, they tried to buy us in 07, but it didn't work. And they're probably going to come back in. I mean, you don't get a huge amount of chances to buy Liverpool, you know. You don't. It's once in a 10 or 12 year, maybe longer, you get a chance to buy Liverpool when you come in the market. So you got to take it when it comes up. Thoughts on Gomez tonight? Concerned about him long term? Well, I mean, there's always a mistake in Gomez. I'm just worried about him. I mean, with Van Dijk there, with Matip there, now Kanate just looking like who, congratulations, gets into the French squad for the World Cup, of course. But yeah, Gomez is going to find it hard. I think he's going to really find it hard. I mean, he's going to be a big par player now. He's going to come in FA Cup game, League Cup games, and games like that. Phillips as well. So, but they're good to have good backup, I suppose, as centre half. But he's certainly not Matip, Van Dijk, or Kanate level. I just don't think. I think he's fourth choice centre half now. You know, another blind pass from him, says Tiki Minks. Yeah, well, he does a lot of blind passes, doesn't he? He does an awful lot of them. Safe to say I won't be watching a replay after that 90 minutes. Says, yeah, of course, no, I certainly won't be watching a replay after 0-0. You might watch the penalties again, though. You know, one or two really good penalties. Of course, Elliott with the decisive penalty, lovely little finish into the corner. Bobby's won over the bar. I don't know what he was doing there. You sound like a defeated man, Dave. Did that game take it out of you? It's just the voice going, I think, is the problem. I've done a lot of live shows lately, so the voice is starting to go. Maybe that's it. The Diet Coke might work for me. But hit the like, hit the share. Let's get people in. Let's have a little chat, little Wednesday night chat. But we're gonna do something probably Friday night, a bit bigger of a show to look at the Southampton game, and we'll talk about FSG. I'll try to have Keith and Ivan in as well to do a little bit of chat. My boy in New York watched it and told me Chamberlain that was absolutely shite to Salvatore. Didn't do much tonight, to be fair. Did not do much at all. Gary Richards, cheers. How are you, Gary? Hopefully you were well, my friend. Wouldn't have known Ox was even a senior player. Rusty still expected. He's been out so long, Ox like Chamberlain. I mean, he's a bit like Naby. He's always out injured. So I'm not going to put too much into that. He's always out bloody injured, the poor fella. Oxlade-Chamberlain's being plagued with injuries, like Naby Keita gets injured playing Monopoly. Let's be real, guys. But we're into the next round. That is the big one. Love Keaton Ivan. Great trio, you lads. One day, you trio lads will be in the studio. Maybe, you never know. Dave's LFC chats, like and subscribe. Ox must have been asked something about FSG in the post-match. It was good just to see Ox on the pitch because I've forgotten all about him, to be fair. How did Ben Doak do tonight? He came on late as a substitute. One or two half chances. Looks really lively. Looks alive where he's only just turned 17. So we have a player on our hands, guys. We have a real top-class player. We signed him from Celtic. Celtic did not want to let him go. And he's come to Liverpool and he's ripping up the under-21s. He's banging the goals in for the under-21s. I thought he might have started tonight, but he came on with about 15 or 20 minutes to go. But wow, what a young talent we have. Farrenbau guy was, I can't even pronounce his name. It's a French or German midfielder, was very good tonight. Beatriz, the Spanish guy, is really good on the ball, isn't he? Really good on the ball. That guy, he's another top talent we have there. And Calvin Ramsey at right back really looked comfortable. He's called into the Scotland squad for the World Cup as well. Congrats to him. Kanate for the France squad for the World Cup. Congrats to them. Bobby did make the Brazilian World Cup. Unlucky for him. Sadio Mane looks, now I know it's a major doubt, whether he'll make the Senegal World Cup side because he got injured for Bayern last night. I'm hearing different things. At first I heard he was out. There was no chance of making the World Cup. Then I heard that it's only a doubt and that he might actually be okay for the World Cup. But look, we all love Sadio Mane. I know he's the next Liverpool player, but he's an absolute legend at Liverpool. We all hope he gets well soon and plays in the World Cup. Scotland not at the World Cup. I meant Wales. Sorry, yeah. Scotland at World. He got called up for the Scotland squad. Sorry. They're playing two friendlies. Ireland are playing friendlies against Malta and someone else. So they're obviously playing two friendlies against probably World Cup sides. Yeah, it's Wales and England, isn't it? Poor old Scotland. Poor old Ireland didn't make it either. The women's team did next year in Australia though. But anyway, guys, hit the like, hit the share. Let's get people in. Let's get that to 20 likes. Let's go. Trent must see Ramsey tonight. Perhaps it might give him a kick up the arse that he needs, says Salvatore. Well, we need backup for Trent. We need backup for Trent. We need players. We really do. We need players to be backing up every player on that pitch. Every starting 11 player. We need one in behind him to say, if you don't play well today, I'm going to take your place next time. That's what we need. And young Calvin Ramsey, really excited about him. He's young. He was the young Scottish Player of the Year last year for Aberdeen. Liverpool came in. They didn't want to sell him either. Liverpool came in, got the deal over the line, got him in. He was injured slightly when they signed him. He didn't play in the pre-season, so he couldn't get integrated. And then Nigel came back and he's only really up to speed now. It was great to see him on the pitch and he played really well tonight. Thoughts on Carvalho? Well, look, I like Carvalho. These are my thoughts on Carvalho. Fabio Carvalho, it wasn't great tonight. Found it hard tonight, to be honest, against a League One side, Derby, who are decent, I suppose. It's their big night out, of course, but he'll get better, and I've no doubts about it. He's going to be an absolute superstar at Liverpool. You've heard it here, baby. Carvalho's going to be a superstar. I'd have Doak on the bench for first team, give him some real minutes this season. He's an absolute gem. I can't believe he's 16. I think he just turned 17 on Monday or Sunday, something like that. So he's just turned 17, but still, wow. He was 16 last week, basically. Do you think he'll go strong versus Saints? Absolutely. It's only one game left. We've only got one game at 3 o'clock in Anfield on Saturday, and it is Southampton, who will have a new manager. Of course, they might get that new manager bounce. I think he's an ex-Luton boss, is coming in for them there. So we've got to have a full team. I mean, Salah was rested tonight. Nunes and Bobby came on, but they still should be okay. Van Dijk, all these boys, Alisson, they were all rested. They should be all ready to rock and roll. Give it one last push. Give it one last push for 3 points. We need 3 points on Saturday so we can just take the break. Players go away to the World Cup, whatever they're going to do for 5 or 6 weeks, but we need those 3 points in the bag. We really do. To have any chance of getting top 4. FSG, what's going to happen there? Deals could be done this side of the World Cup, or it could drag on. Who knows? But a lot of people are hoping stuff is done before the window, because then you're hoping. But I still think if FSG are still here in the window, in the January window, I still think there's a good chance we get somebody in the window. I really do still think we get somebody in, because why would you let your prized asset, which is Liverpool, and pay $4.5 billion for it and not spend in the window and say spend 100 million in the window or 50 million in the window and not get Champions League? So in other words, your asset, if you sell it next summer and you're in Europa League, it's not going to be worth as much money to you. So I think FSG are in a catch-22. Maybe they're looking to get it over and done with and over the line before January. Who knows? I don't know. But it's going to be really interesting, isn't it? It's watch this space with FSG. Doak will be 17 in 2 days. Sorry, I got that wrong. I thought he was 17 2 days ago. Maybe 17 on Friday. Must be. Either way, what a player. What a player. Doak will be the new Michael Owen. Wow. Draws in 2 minutes on YouTube. Says LFCJ. Well, I'll see if I can get it up here on the on my laptop, but we shall see. It's the Carabao Cup, isn't it? One doesn't think FSG will be the owners in January, says Gary Richards. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Nobody knows. Barry Sweeney, FSG are going to spend big January next summer. We will get their money back when they sell. Exactly, Barry. If they don't sell by January, they're going to have to spend because we need to be in the Champions League. And I think we need to buy one or two in January to get it, try have any chance of getting into the Champions League. Because all the other clubs are going to do it as well. All the other clubs are going to spend big in January. There's 6 clubs there. I mean, there's Newcastle United, who are up there right now. You've Arsenal and City right at top 2. They'll probably finish top 2. Still think City will win it. Arsenal probably come second. So for those 3rd and 4th places for the the prized Champions League places, you've got Newcastle. You've got Spurs. Spurs are hot and cold. That win against them last week was brilliant for us. You've still got United there, and you've still got Chelsea there. Chelsea are hot and cold. United are hot and cold. Spurs are hot and cold. That's what we've got going for us. We've got to stop this Goldilocks zone. Goldilocks, the Three Bears hot and cold zone, and we've just got to go for it. We've got to start winning games. We've got to beat Southampton on Saturday. FSG spending big along with flying pigs in the sky and a fit Kelleher. That's a nice thought as well, Sir Oswald. I know exactly what you mean there. When pigs will fly, as you say. But let's see if we can get the Carabao Cup draw on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. If it's on, I thought it was Friday, but maybe I'm wrong. Trends is in. Made a pig's ear, but we're through. Few good teams out as well. A lot of teams out tonight. Arsenal are out, of course. But look, we could get City tonight. I mean, City beat Chelsea tonight. I thought they were a little lucky to beat Chelsea tonight, to be fair. And we shall see. It's not tonight, I don't think, Dave. No, I don't think it is tonight, but here it is here. I'll just get it up here on the laptop just to see when it is. No. I don't know when it is. The draw will take place immediately after the Manchester United Villa game tomorrow night. So the draw for the next round is tomorrow night, guys. Not tonight, tomorrow night. MC says tomorrow, yes. What a keeper. I think he deserves a place in the first team. He's never let us down, says Tommy Walker. We're talking about Kelleher. We're talking about the Irish goalkeeper, Liverpool's number 2. But if we've Alisson in front of you, Alisson Becker in front of you, it is very hard. It is very, very hard to get into that team. And that's why I think Kelleher long-term to either play for Ireland, the Republic of Ireland first team, and get playing Premier League football. I mean, does he stay at Liverpool? It has to be a question. It has to be the question. Next summer. I mean, he's at an age where he should be playing every week, and he's good enough to play every week. I want him to stay in Liverpool, don't get me wrong, I want him. You need a good number 2. We've Adrian there as well. But, for himself and stuff like that, what does he do next summer? Big decision for Kelleher. Rest of the competition is wrapped up in about 2 months from the next round. Yeah, it just flies in now because the games are so compressed because of the World Cup, of course. Dem saves were something special, says MC. Well, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant shot stopper. And as you've seen tonight, we've seen in the League Cup final against Chelsea, basically won it. And he scored a penalty. He's not a bad penalty taker either, is he? Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. 32 people in. Only 16 likes. Let's go. Let's get that up to 30 likes. And we get a lot more people in. You never know. Basuna is getting first team football at Southampton. He's the number 1 short at Ireland. That's what I'm saying. So Kelleher, who's getting, I don't know, many games a year, League Cup games. As long as Liverpool are in the League Cup, you'll play that. You play the odd FA Cup game. So what we get? Max 10 games a year, something like that. Is that enough to play for your national team when the other guy is playing in every week for Southampton in the Premier League? That's Kelleher's problem. And for him chance to move on, he's enjoying himself there at Liverpool. Of course he is. John Octerberg, his coach, Alisson and Kelleher's coach, who I know, of course, and I did a video with in June, check that out, said they're loving life. But for Kelleher, for his own for his own, what he wants to do, and he wants to play for Ireland. He wants to be Ireland's number one. He wants to play football. He's good enough, as I say, to play in the Premier League, but he was brilliant again tonight, and that just shows you. He had an injury, he had a long injury. He had a really long injury, so it's just great to see him back on the pitch. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, the draw is tomorrow night after the United Villa game, guys. The draw is tomorrow, straight after the game, I think. Impossible situation, Dave. He'll have to go out on loan, says Trent. Yeah, but even on loan's no use to Liverpool, is it? I mean, you're losing your goalkeeper. I think Liverpool would probably sell. You get a few quid for Kelleher, you know. Problem is, who do you get in? They've one or two young lads, of course, there. Harvey, they've a few. Kelleher is better than Bazuna. Well, yes, I would say so, but he's just not playing enough, is he? Could do with some sort of attacking squad players for later rounds in the AFL and FA Cup. Minamino Origi will be missed if we get drawn against the Premier League side. Well, there you go. We didn't really replace Minamino, and we certainly didn't replace Divock Origi, did we? Those two boys were coming on. Weren't playing much, but they were coming on getting goals. You know, they were doing that. We have young lads there now. We Caden Gordon, who's out injured. We've Tyler Morton, who's on loan at Blackburn as well. There's another two, you know what I mean? MC, go on to Sky Sports Football, YouTube. Yes, Dave. What saves from our keeper? We are lucky to have him, says Ravi. Ravi, you're absolutely right. We are lucky to have him. But the question is, will we have him next summer? Because I think he needs to be playing football. He needs to be playing Premier League football, first team football, and then he has a chance of playing for Ireland as number one. That's the big question for Kelleher for me. Derby fans singing red lights in Elliot's eyes, or shining red lights in Elliot's eyes. The laser pens, yeah. Ash of Jesus, they all do it, to be fair. It was a great penalty from Elliot, though. It didn't put Elliot off, did it? All has a good few years in them. Ali has a good few years in them. Yet can't see Kelleher hanging around as number two choice, but maybe he's happy at his role at Liverpool. He's happy at the moment, but will he be happy next summer? That's the question. But Alisson is like even a different level again. I mean, Brazilian's number one keeper as well. We shouldn't have left it to the last chance saloon, though. Well, I mean, penalty shootouts are last chance saloon. They're the luck of the draw, aren't they? They're luck of the draw. It's good to come true. I mean, there was a time where we never lose a penalty shootout. You know, we lost one or two recently, and then of course we won. We won them. You know, we won the cups. You know, the League Cup and the FA Cup, and the rest is history. The Champions League in 05 against AC Milan, the 3-3 comeback, the penalty shootout, the Jersey Dudek. We have some famous penalty shootouts. Some famous penalty shootout wins, and that's another one for the young lads tonight. They won't forget that. Ben Doak won't forget that. You know, young Leighton Stewart won't forget that. Clark won't forget that. Even Calvin Ramsey won't forget tonight, you know. Kelleher must leave. Too good to be number two. Well, we've been saying that, haven't we? Arsenal 3-1 lost. Spurs losing 2-0 to Forest. Yeah, I know. Now, you'd weakened sides, of course. I've seen the Arsenal side. There's probably only two players that would start. But still, you know, it's a cup gone. It's a cup gone for you. It's a cup gone for Spurs. I mean, Spurs haven't won anything. They're like Everton, you know, they don't win. They haven't won a cup in bleeding 50 years. Well, I don't know, 50 years, but you know what I mean. I think the last cup they won is a long, long time. I remember them winning the FA Cup. Gaza playing for them. Remember that? The famous Gaz going. I think it was against Forest, was it? Kelleher is the penalty king. He can save them and score them. Well, we know he can definitely score them and he can save them, as you say. He's absolutely brilliant, yeah. He's absolutely brilliant. Ben Doak is a proper dribbler. A dying art this day, says Sir Oswald. You don't see as much. Do you remember McManaman for Liverpool back in the 90s? He was an unbelievable dribbler as well. It's very rare to see dribblers in the modern game because they get, you know, it's just a different type of game. It's much faster. It's, you know, it's much faster game. The 91 FA Cup, I think. They've won the League Cup twice though since they've, yeah, they won the 91. I remember the 91 FA Cup game. I was straight down to my local park playing football after. They were wearing that white Holston pills was on their Gaza jersey. I remember well. McManaman and Highway, two incredible dribblers. Steve Highway, yeah, and Steve McManaman. Steve Highway, Steve McManaman. Yeah, two Steves. Absolutely brilliant. Highway played for the Republic of Ireland, by the way. And McManaman for England and Madrid. He won 2 Champions League for Madrid. A lot of people forget that, Steve McManaman. 2 Champions Leagues for Madrid. Leicester sniffing around Kelleher for around 25 million, says Barry. Well, Schmeichel was gone. I mean, Schmeichel was a weird one there, wasn't it, when he left? Their keeper's not doing too badly. Ex-Liverpool keeper at the moment for them, Ward, isn't it? But yeah, I'd say Liverpool wouldn't sniff at 2025. I think they'd sell him, to be fair, in the summer. Would you? I think they would. We've one or two good young Petiluga and another one or two good young keepers coming up through. But Who knows what the owners will say? Could have different owners by next summer anyway, and who knows? Who knows? Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing there, Salvatore. Very, very sorry. I actually hit something different there, but you should be okay. I hope Liverpool can keep this up now, says Ravi. Well, we got to beat Southampton the weekend. We've got to beat Southampton the weekend. You should be okay now, Salvatore. I hit the wrong button, which muted you, but you should be unmuted now. I've got a link to this draw on Sky Sports football draw. The draw is not till tomorrow night, buddy. It's after United's Villa game, as far as I know. It's after the Aston Villa United game. It's straight after. I don't think it's tonight anyway, as far as I know. I think it's great that the top clubs play some of their kids. It's levels up for the games on which they can go either way. It's the only chance they'll get to play, packed out Anfield or, their eyes on them type of thing, is the likes of a League Cup or an FA Cup. The only chance they'll get, really, isn't it? It's great experience for the young lads, really is. Barry, 25 million, good business for us to sell them. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard 20, 25 million, but I know Leicester are in for goalkeeper, definitely. But I'd say it'd be next summer. I would drop Alisson. Kelleher is better and will get better with game time. But they're different goalkeepers, aren't they? I mean, no. Ali Becker's been unbelievable for us, and even this, he's probably up there as our top 3 player this season. I mean, Alisson Becker's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Kelleher's not quite there. He hasn't played enough. That's the problem. Now, he could turn out to be, but he hasn't had enough game time at the top level. Now, whenever he's played, he hasn't let us down. Didn't let us down again tonight. He was the hero tonight. You could say he was the man of the match tonight, to be fair, after those saves and what he did in the game. So, think the EFL Cup should do something to make the Cup more exciting. Nobody really cares about it. Not as much, certainly not as much as, say, it'd be the bottom cup. You'd have the FA Cup second. You'd have the league, or you'd have the Champions League, the league. I think the league is still number 1. Although on the continent, Champions League seems to be number 1 and the league is second. But for Liverpool, the bread and butter is the league, Champions League is second, FA Cup is third. You know the type of way. League Cup is fourth. You don't sniff at it, but it's still way down. That's why the top teams play. Like if Arsenal played the weekend side tonight, Spurs probably played a slightly weakened side away to Forest, which have a slight chance of getting beaten. I mean, even tonight, we the young side tonight. And Derby had 1 or 2 chances, 1 or 2 headers and chances just wide, and good save from Kelleher. So you never know. You could go out. Remember the game against Leicester City that we went out? We were 3-1 down, that famous late Minamino equaliser in the last minute. And then we went on to win the bloody cup, do the double domestic cup. So you just don't know. A bit of a risk when you do that. Egyptian King is in, even in Dave and chat. The Egyptian King of Egypt is in. Absolutely, yeah, bro. We're going to stay on for a little while. As I say, hit the like, hit the share. We'll stay on for another little while. Instant match reaction. Liverpool have beaten Derby County of League One with a very young side on penalties after 0-0. 3-2 on penalties. Kelleher, the hero, of course, but Elliott getting the decisive penalty. And Liverpool through to the next round, which a draw, I think, is tomorrow night after the United game. But big teams going out tonight, of course. Big teams through. City are through. Spurs are out. Arsenal are out. Newcastle are through on penalties. So interesting. Everton are out. They went out last night, of course. Dave, I've got some exciting news for you on your channel. Says, yeah, of course. What, you're going to give me a like? Yes, give me a like. Thank you very much. I rarely criticise our players, but I can't see what Ox offers anymore. Well, he didn't do much tonight, did he? He's been out so bloody long with injuries, probably forgetting how to play. You know what I mean? Really, so I'm hoping. Look, we all want to see a fit Ox. We all want to see an Ox playing well. When he plays well, he can play well, similar to Naby Keita, but he's just not available enough. He's just never available for selection. That is the problem. And Chelsea were out by Man City beat Chelsea 2-0. Yeah, Tommy, yeah. As I say, Chelsea were decent tonight. Very, very, decent tonight. Really unlucky tonight. They had 2 or 3 really good chances. Should have scored at least one of them. And it was 0-0 at that stage. And then City went up the other end and scored 2. And the game was over. So City are through. West Ham have gone as well. Yep. Wolves, I think Wolves beat West. Oh no, so it was a 2-2 draw. Was he lost in penalties? Leeds are gone. Are Leeds gone? The West Ham beat Leeds 1-0. Starting next year, YouTube is starting to do a 60-40 split with the YouTube shorts. So you will actually be able to monetize your shorts. Wow. Well, I haven't got shorts on at the moment, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Look, I'm monetized, but I just haven't actually set up the account type of thing. I just haven't had bloody time. I was monetised since June, to be fair, but couldn't stop laughing when the post that Kelleher better than Allison and he should sell him. No, he's not better. He's not. I mean, Tommy Walker, I don't know what he's Kelleher's not better than Allison, just no chance. But he's a really, really good goalkeeper, and I'm delighted he's Liverpool's number 2. That's as simple as. Blackburn beat West Ham on penalties. Sell Allison when everyone still wants him at old age and buy Jude with the money. Oh. Dave, if you could interview one current Liverpool player, who would it be? Now, that's a good question. From Sir Oswald Fortitude. If you could interview one current Liverpool player, who would it be? Mo Salah, the king of Egypt. That's who I'd like. Wow. Imagine the clicks then. Woohoo. Imagine me doing a live with Mo for even 10 minutes. That would be, No. I'd look, Jurgen Klopp actually would even be, who would be the ultimate. Jurgen Klopp even more than any player. Jurgen Klopp interview would be a lot of laughing, a lot of hugs, a lot of fun, a bit of crack, that type of thing. Definitely Jurgen Klopp, but a player, Salah. Alisson at the moment, best keeper in the world by a mile, says Salvatore. Good night, Dave, and family sleeping. LJ, have a good night, my friend. Tell your friends, hit the like, hit the share, get them in, and let's all talk Reds. As I say, I'll probably do a live on Friday night about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll do a big Southampton build-up show with Keith and Ivan and probably talk more FSG in or out. So keep your notifications on, keep your notification button on, whatever you do, because I don't know if it goes on. Does a notification button come on to say I'm live? I don't know. Are you just going through and you see me live and you click on me? I don't know, guys, because most of the time that notification bell or whatever doesn't actually work. Keita is a lad, says Ravi. We'll have 2 Kings of Egypt here then. Did you hear that the Glazers want 9 billion for United? Nobody will touch them with Maguire. Look, 9 billion. Stop. They're a big brand. Of course they are. Huge brand. To be up around similar. They make a lot of money every year, even though they're absolutely shite, we're still making money. But the Glazers were just siphoning the money out. That was the problem for United. You can retire then, Dave, if that happened with all those views. Don't think so. But 9 billion for Maguire. Wow, that's an expensive pile of fertiliser. I could say worse, but I know what you mean. Kelleher's so good in these types of games in the League Cup and FA Cup. There were promising players out there. Yes, there was, my friend. There really was. I mean, as I say, there are 3 or 4 really good gems to come out of it. Obviously, Ben Doak came in late. We know about him. He's just 17. This guy's going to be, if he keeps his head on his shoulders, he's still young, I know, and all that. But if he keeps this could be, wow, Carvalho. We've Elliott, he's still young. I mean, Harvey Elliott's still very young, isn't he? We have to keep thinking it. He's only a young lad too. You'd young Leighton Stewart on tonight. You Clark. You also had Calvin Ramsey, he's only 20. He only turned 20 in the summer. I mean, he's another absolute gem. The gems just keep coming. Caden Gordon at the moment, who's out injured. He probably would have played tonight as well. So, I mean, we have a lot of gems there. Bjaticic, Stefan Bjaticic in midfield, the young Spanish midfielder. He's another absolute gem. He had a decent game tonight, neat and tidy on the ball. Rarely gives it away, rarely gives the ball away, and has a bit of a threat about him and a bit of intelligence and stuff like that. So that's okay, but I still think we need 1 or 2 senior players that can get into the starting 11, basically. You can keep buying your Minaminos, your Origis, your 8, 9, 10 million pound players. You need a 40, 50 million pound player or more. And I think that time is January and certainly next summer. Anyone know much about Stefan Pakluka being linked as a possible buyer of LFC? Yes. Is he the Italian guy? I think he's worth about 3 or 4 billion, but I mean, his net worth's 3 or 4 billion. So what is he going to do? Spend his whole net worth on buying Liverpool? Or maybe come in as a part buyer or something? So I don't think he has the full amount that you'd need. I think we'd need someone worth about 10 billion to come in and buy us, because they're not going to spend your whole amount of money, everything you have in the bank, on Liverpool, are you? Need strikers, says Jan. How are you, Jan? Hopefully you were well, my friend. It's an instant match reaction after 0-0 draw at Anfield in the League Cup. We're into the next round because we won on penalties. And as I say, Kelleher was was the man of the match with all those saves. Diaz back in light training tomorrow. Will be good to see. Yeah, we won't see him on Saturday against Southampton, of course, but great to see the Colombian king, have him back training, have him ready to roll when we come back at Christmas time. I think that'd be absolutely huge, huge bonus to have him back. Matip too should be back in training too. Jota's a big concern for me. Diogo Jota, there's not much said about him. He's been kept quiet. His injury seems to be a lot far serious than what we were thinking. I heard something about January, February. You know, he won't be back for Christmas. Now he could be. It's 5, 6 weeks, six weeks away. But let's hope. I love Jota. Everybody loves Jota. Has got a Delota basically. And we all want to see Jota on the pitch for Liverpool because he just gives you that something different, doesn't he? But yeah, there's not a huge amount on Jota news, but I am hearing it's another month or two at least away. Let's hope that's all it is. No Italians, please, Salvatore. Yeah, no, I still think it's an American or a Middle Eastern owner. It's one or the other, you know. The main question is, when can we kick Mr. Injured Naby out the door? Don't kick him, he get injured again. Mexican League winger, very versatile player. New stadiums lack the soul that Anfield has. Well, there's a lot of soul at Anfield, isn't there? There's a lot of heritage and history at Anfield. I mean, next year, of course, kick off next August in the Premier League 23-24 season. And we will have an extra 7,000 seats, bring it up to what, 61,000 capacity, something like that. And wow, what a roar that will be. What a roar. Let's hope we're in the Champions League. Let's hope we have a trophy of some sort, maybe a European Cup in the cabinet. But by the time we come around to playing at Anfield next year, but as I say, guys, it's tonight was sort of important in a way. You didn't want to lose or get knocked out, even though it's sort of lower down in priorities. The main thing is get back into top four and get a good run in the Champions League. We've Madrid in February, of course, but you know, just keep it continuing. Be ready to rock against Southampton on Saturday. Hopefully, Jota is back for the Madrid game, which is I think the 15th or 16th of February. So that's a bit away. I mean, you're talking 3 months. 12 weeks, surely he'll be back by then. I'd be worried if he's not back by the middle of February, you know. Let's hope Jota is back because we really do miss him. And Diaz and Matip. We miss those three guys and we want them back on the field. We want them fit and be ready for action. But we won't see any of them till after Christmas. And hopefully we see Diogo Jota not too far after Christmas into the new year. The World Cup break will be interesting to see what happens with us and FSG. Look, it's going to be crazy. It is going to be absolutely crazy. Hillary, Jackie, I miss Diaz more, says Hillary. I do love Diaz. I mean, Diaz, he signed for us in January, just gave us that lift, gave us that catalyst to go on and almost do a quadruple, guys. Almost do a quadruple. I mean, every time he's the ball at his feet, just you don't know what's going to, his bag of tricks, you don't know what he's going to do, and he's getting better and better and better. The bloody injury at the wrong time, my God. You know, the wrong time for Liverpool. So I think if we can come out of this now with a win against Southampton at the weekend, okay, we lost to Leeds and we lost to Leeds and Forest away. But we're into the last 16. We've Madrid in the middle of February. You know, we're still in the League Cup into next year. We still have an outside chance at top four. Let's be real. I'm not writing off our chances. I am absolutely not writing off our chances. I still think we have a really good chance. All depends on players coming back in the new year, and it depends if we can get a bit of investment, one or two players in, and the right players in January. And I think we have a really good chance. I do. I'm not writing us off one iota. I miss Mane even more, says LFC CJ. Well, unfortunately, Mane's gone. He's at Bayern Munich, and he got injured last night. Let's hope and pray that he's okay for the World Cup for Senegal. Now, I did hear initial reports, and I did a video on it myself, was that he was gone. There was no chance. He was injured. He was out for Senegal. A big blow for Senegal. Big blow for Mane. Then I heard today, about 2-3 hours ago, that L'Equipe, you know, the big French football paper, was saying that there's a possibility that it wasn't as bad an injury and that he might be okay, and they're doing tests on him. So let's hope Mane's okay, because he would be absolutely great. He misses all his friends at Liverpool, of course, and absolutely would. We'll get top four, and Lampy will be picking up the P45. Everton were knocked out yesterday, of course. 4-1. Was it 4-1? Bournemouth beat them 4-1, so Everton are gone. Haven't won that since 95. What about Kylian Mbappe? Is he coming, says Hillary Jackie? No, unless the IC come in the next few weeks and put in a ridiculous bloody, amount. PSG wouldn't be selling them in January anyway. That'd be more like a summer bloody boy, but I still can't see him. The package with him, it'd be ridiculous. What is he on? 600,000 a week? You'd be paying about 150 million for him, 600,000 a week. What 5-year deal? What the hell's that package look like? That is ridiculous. Plus he's an entourage, his agents and his bodyguards and his fucking, his tea lady and his toast maker and his, his foot massager. He just has too much of a big entourage with him, and he's a bit of a diva. And I don't know whether he even, look, he's a good football player, but when things go wrong for him, he nearly wants to pick the team at PSG. So I don't think that one's ever on. I don't think it was ever possible. The Jude Bellingham one is interesting. The Declan Rice one is interesting. There are more possibilities. I don't think the Mbappe one's a possibility. I still think he's going to Madrid, if you're asking me now. I like to look at the Crown Prince of Dubai. Him and his dad are big Liverpool fans. Well, that's the one. That's DIC, Dubai Investment Capital. That is the one I think. I did do a tweet last night, FSG equals DIC, and a lot of people were looking and going, what the hell does he know? I don't know anything. I'm just saying, I know they've been interested since 07, 06, 07. They wanted to buy Liverpool. When Hickson and Gillette were there, they were almost in. And they seem to be sniffing around now. So that is a possibility. I mean, what do you feel about Dubai, Sheikh coming in? Who knows? Egyptian King, I totally agree. I want DIC or I'll stamp my feet. Well, yeah, I mean, DIC would be up there with City's owners and Newcastle's owners. You know what I mean? I mean, is there issues? Do you have an issue with DIC? A lot of people are saying DIC in, LFC. CJ1 is saying, I want DIC. I don't know. I'll have to do more about them and do a due diligence on them and just see. Do you know Alex Vega, winger at Deportivo? I don't. You tell me. Is that the Mexican guy you were talking about earlier? The Mexican winger? No, but we really need a midfielder. You can always have attacking players. You can never have enough. But for me, we need a midfielder and a proper Champions League level, international level midfielder, hopefully in January. We'll definitely need one in the summer, but I think we need something in January just to kick us on and try get that top four. I would take DIC, no problem, says the Egyptian King. I would have the devil himself as our owner as long as we spend. That would be hot money then straight away, wouldn't it? Bellingham is the best. Well, look, Bellingham for me obviously would cost more money than Declan Rice, but he also gives you more than Declan Rice. I think he gives you an extra 10% more, bit more skill, bit more composure, bit more of a goal threat, let's say. Don't get me wrong, Declan Rice is a proper player. I wouldn't say no to him, but if you're asking me to pick between Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice, I'm picking Jude Bellingham. Simple, Basically, that's what I'm doing. But Declan Rice could be on the radar as well. He really could be on the fried rice, boiled rice, Declan Rice. You know what I mean? He could be there. But Hey Jude being sung from the cop would be nice as well, wouldn't it? Hey Jude would be really nice. I can't be doing with Declan Rice after what he did with Ireland, with the Ireland squad, says the Egyptian King. Yeah, he played for the Ireland under 21. So did Grealish. And both then switched their allegiance to England. But they're both born in England. They both grew up in England. I think their dad or their granddads were Irish. So look, I think Harry Kane's granddad was Irish from Mayo as well. So he could have played for Ireland. Klopp saying after the game tonight, whatever happens with the new owners or not, he is fully committed either way. Well, the big question for me is there's a question mark on that, right? I didn't see Klopp after the game, obviously, because I was on here. But if there was an owner that comes in, I'll throw this question out to you guys. You can put it in the comments with your answer. My question is, if someone comes in as an owner that Klopp does not agree with their policies or their overall, take on human rights or whatever, then what happens? Because we know what Klopp said last week against the likes of City. We know what he thinks of the likes of City's owners and the likes of Newcastle's owners. He only mentioned it last week that he can't compete against them, and it's sort of wrong, oil money and oil states and stuff like that. So if an oil state like the Dubai DIC boys come in, where does that leave Klopp? What does he do? Does he lick his wounds, or does he say, well, this is what we have to do to compete, or otherwise we're left behind? We're left behind, guys. If we can't compete with City and Newcastle in particular in the league, in the Premier League, what do we do? So there's big questions. Frankie de Jong goes to Liverpool and Jude walking through at Anfield in sexy red would make my day. I presume you mean Frankie de Jong goes to Hollywood. Hollywood goes to Liverpool. Hope he won't be sacked after some time when loses like he does. No, Hillary, there's no chance of Klopp being sacked. Would you stop? I mean, Klopp the king. Klopp's the king, basically. Klopp ain't going nowhere. My only issue with Klopp would be if the ownership come in, he's not 100% with them and his family's not happy with it. He doesn't feel comfortable with it. Maybe the ideology or whatever is wrong. Then what happens, I don't know. Or else he might just say, it is what it is. If Klopp walks on principle, that's his choice. But the club goes on. We have to compete, says Sir Oswald. But there you go. I'm sure Klopp knows we have to compete too. He just said it last week. He said exactly that last week. We haven't got the money to compete with City or with Newcastle now. You know what I mean? Sure, even other clubs. United spent big money in the summer. Chelsea will spend big money as well. Todd Bowley, will he give them big money in January? I'm sure he'll give them a few million in January. I told you United will get a few million. Spurs will probably get a few million. Newcastle have billions. City, billions. They're all going to spend because they all want that. They want to solidify that top four because it is so big and it's big for us. So that's why we got to spend. Whoever's in charge in January. If Klopp goes, Hansi Flick in. No thanks. Nagelsmann, is it Nagelsmann? I think your man Nagelsmann would be a choice at some stage. But I want Klopp to stay as long as... he's there till 2026. We've another 4 years. I want him to stay longer. You know what I mean? I don't want to be talking about Klopp out. I don't want to hear anything like that. Klopp said he can't compete with Newcastle and City, so this money will help 100%. We need to fight fire with fire. Exactly. I have hope in Premier League title. Well, not this year, I don't. Not this year, not this season, definitely not. I think we're in trouble for this season for the Premier League. We're even in trouble, to be fair, for top four, but I still think we have a chance of getting it. But we've put ourselves in a bad position. But can't write Liverpool off, can't write Klopp off. So we got to beat Southampton on Saturday, get the 3 points, see what happens during this break, and everybody comes back and see what position we're in, and just go for it. Just go for it. I'm sick of seeing all players go to Chelsea, Man City and United. This is our time. We deserve this oil money, damn it. Oh my God. No. Barry Sweeney gives Klopp 200 million. He will sort us out with the right players working on a budget for years. We've really punched above our weight, guys, when you think about it with Klopp. Punched above our weight. Klopp, the net spend, we all know about the net spend and the owners, whatever they make, they only spend type of thing. And Klopp has done worked wonders at this club. We're up against Oil Baron City. Look at what we were up against. Unbelievable how we won a league and come close twice by one bloody point. 1 point twice. Last season and back in 2019. Then win the Champions League. It was just ridiculous. So, punching above our weight, really, when you look at it that way. So, if you imagine giving Klopp 100 or 200 million to spend in a window, maybe he wouldn't know what to do with it. Who knows? But, maybe just pour it all into a Jude Bellingham and, something like that. Maybe 150 of it onto Jude Bellingham. And I don't know. Really, really interesting. It would be interesting to see. And what Klopp would do if he had 200 million or 250 million to spend in a transfer window, wouldn't it? This team in the Premier League aren't competition no more. It's the money. The teams in the Premier League aren't competition no more. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's a business now. It's all about money. That's why I said last night, at the end of the day, the Super League thing will come back. It'll come back in it. Maybe not next year, 5 years. It'll be back and talking about it in 10 years because it's all about money. They want to see the big teams playing the big teams, the big followed teams with the most TikTok, Instagram fans, YouTube, Twitter fans, the millions of fans playing each other. That's what gets the big money in the TV rights, and it will eventually happen, unfortunately. Liverpool FC is a blue ribbon club. We are truly global, and if we ever combine with a rich owner, we would unleash a monster onto the world of football, says Sir Oswald. Absolutely true, my friend. The monster is out of the bag. But DIC, will they come in, or will it be another American or even an Indian owner? There's 1 or 2 billionaires in India interested in Liverpool too. Liverpool will go on a run after the World Cup, says Gary. I hope they go on a bit of a marathon now and go on a 10 and 15 match winning run, because we're going to need something like that to get back into frame. We really are. The weekend against Southampton at Anfield, 3 o'clock kickoff, last game. The only thing is, you've players playing. Will they want? Imagine getting injured in that game and missing out on the World Cup. The likes of Van Dijk, Fabinho, Alisson. You missed out on the World Cup, and it's your last game. They're flying out Sunday. They're probably even flying out Saturday night to camps. I don't know, possibly Sunday. And they're off to the World Cup. So But you've got to go strong. It's got to be Allison. It's got to be Kanate. It's got to be Kanate's another one going with the French camp. You've Van Dijk, you've Simicus and Robertson. You've got to go the three boys. I think Elliot has another good chance of starting in midfield. Maybe with I'd say Henderson might start with Thiago, and up front it's got to be Mo, it's got to be Nunes, and it's got to be Salah. Simple as. Oh, sorry, it's got to be Bobby, it's got to be Nunes, and it's got to be Salah. Just got to go for it. We need 3 points the weekend. It's simple as. What I'm worried about is the boys that are in it, that are called up to the World Cup squads. But then again, most of the Premier League top players will be called up to the World Cup squads by then, so everybody be in the same boat, but you can only do an individual thing. Will you put in that extra foot? Will you put in that extra thing? The likes of Van Dijk, overstretch, get an injury or a groin strain. That would be really sad to be knocked out, wouldn't it? Big time. Like if we're 3 or 4 nil up at 20 minutes to go, bring off those World Cup players, the likes of Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho. Don't want any tragedies like a Mane injury for Bayern Munich last night, which looks like he could be out for Senegal. Let's hope it's only an injury and he's back in a week or two rather than a month or two, because we all want to see Mane. Although he's a Bayern Munich player now, we all love him. He was a legend at Liverpool. We want to see him playing for Senegal. That would make us watch Senegal really in the World Cup, wouldn't it? It'd be Sadio Mane. That'd be the pull. That'd be the big pull for us. So the big thing for me is it's going to be interesting the weekend. As I say, we'll have to go strong. We've no choice. Go strong. Win the game. Do our best. Southampton obviously sacked Hassan Hüttl at the weekend. The new, I think it's the ex-Luton manager in Jones, is it, at the weekend? Lewis Jones, I think it is. He's in at the weekend. And you always get that bloody new manager bounce, don't you? And it's always against Liverpool. It always seems to be against Liverpool when you have a new manager bounce. The manager always gets sacked. And who did he play next? Liverpool. I think the last 6 or 7 managers that got sacked, they play Liverpool next. It's like a course, and they usually play well because it's the last game before they're trying to impress the manager and stuff like that. So we shall see. As I say, it's going to be really interesting, but it's a must-win. I think it's a must-win for Liverpool. We've any hopes of top 4, finishing fourth. We've got to be beating Southampton at Anfield. We've got to get Anfield back to being a fortress and go on another one of these 69 unbeaten runs that we did until we got beaten by Leeds in that late Somerville goal only 2 weeks ago, which killed me, really, to be fair. I thought that was even worse than the Forest game. At least Forest was waiting home. But the Anfield hoodoo went, the Van Dijk hoodoo went, where he was unbeaten in 69 games. And we were unbeaten something like 29 at Anfield. Ridiculous record. Really, really ridiculous record. But we got to get the Fortress Anfield back, because that is huge. It's there in the Champions League. It seems to be there. Anfield under the lights. The Champions League night seems to be there. But just got to get it back into the Premier League. You got to be winning your home games. Got to win your home games. Then you pick up the points in the away games. So huge thing. As I say, we'll do a lot of content during the World Cup. I'll even might cover a few games in the World Cup. We'll keep an eye on this FSG thing. Sell or not to sell, this type of stuff, and obviously transfers and stuff. So there will be a lot of stuff and content still on Dave's LFC chat. So hit the like, hit the share. Who will be their number 10 for LFC? We want a world-class player, says Hillary. Who do you want? Who do you want? The only reason players in the Premier League played well against us is because they want our beautiful club to sign them and show them what success looks like. Well, there's another player being mentioned a lot, Trossard, the guy off Brighton. He looks like a proper player. I think we get him for about 25 million. Really tricky little player. These are little gems that you can pick up. I think Arsenal are interested in him as well. Newcastle are interested in him. Newcastle will be interested in everybody. But if you could pick up a little gem like him, in January, wow, that would be maybe something like if FSG are still there or not. See, that's the question. Will FSG be there in January to spend, or will they not? That's the question. But as I keep going back to, even if they're there in January, I still think they have to spend, because they've got to protect their asset. If they're going to sell it in the summer, they've got to be in the Champions League. And to be in the Champions League, I think we need to spend in January. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. If they sell next week or next month, they won't have to worry about that. But they will have to worry about it if they're in charge in January. So people say they won't spend because, no, it's the other way around. They have to spend in January to protect their asset from dropping in price if they're not in the Champions League. So if they're selling it next summer and you're not in the Champions League, the price could go down by $500 million. And the 100 million you spent in January, So big teams out, shocking. Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal and Everton. Are Everton a big team? Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah. Look, a lot of teams went out tonight. City are still in there, of course. We are still in there. United play tomorrow night against Villa. For now, we have to assume we are still looking for FSG Poundland signing, so we will probably sign Phil Jones. I hope not. Don't think so. But I know what you mean. Like a little or Aldi signings instead of our M&S, big M&S signing or a little or Aldi type signing. I don't know. But we have been shopping in Lidl and Aldi. The only thing is we've been putting our hands into bags of coal and picking out diamonds. Picking out diamonds. More 9 times out of 10. Not all the time. Arthur Mello, Ben Davies, Kabak. Yes, we put our hands in, pulled it out. Uh-oh. But a lot of the times we've really been good in the transfer window. Okay, Michael Edwards was there at the time. Julian Ward is there now. It's not quite Michael Edwards. So maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. We need to keep shopping at Beverly Hills, says Egyptian King. We need to keep shopping in Harrods. Is that what you call it in London? Harrods is where we need to be shopping in. And if DIC come in, we're going to be shopping in Harrods January transfer window. Looking in the Harrods transfer window. That's where we're going to be. Newcastle, us and City in it well, Newcastle and City are certainly going to be shopping in Harrods transfer windows instead of Lidl and Aldi transfer windows, So we shall see what happens there. We need players from Harrods delivered by Silver Shadow Rolls Royce, says Sir Oswald. Yeah, absolutely. We do. But you got to be careful what you wish for, guys. I keep saying it and I keep on saying it. You got to be careful what you wish for. Man United are shopping at M&S. M&S is top level now, to be fair. Lovely food in M&S. I won't knock M&S food. No date, no wait. Ready-made meals, ready-made players. That's a good one. Ready-made meals, ready-made players at M&S. We want ready-made players. We don't, we want internet. We don't want to be doing the Artemello type thing, or as I said, Ben Davies type thing. We want players coming in. We know how good they are. They're international class. They played in the Champions League. They have maybe 20, 30 caps for the country. Bang. That's what we want. That's your Harrods type or top shelf M&S. You know what I mean? But we shall see what happens. As I say, it's all up in the air. Jude, give us our Jude Meals on Wheels. Oh, God, it's getting worse now. Let's face it, we have been shopping at local food banks, Sir Oswald. Look, I think we've been punching, Klopp, Liverpool have been punching above their weight. Last 4 years just been ridiculous. It's been a roller coaster. As Ronan Keaton would say, Liverpool's roller coaster, just gotta ride it all night long. So we've been riding the roller coaster with Liverpool. And I'm hoping the roller coaster has a few more big things to go over. And I'm hoping we're not coming in at the juncture where you have to get out of the roller coaster. I still think DIC come. It could be a new roller coaster. It could be a new Dragon Can or whatever. One of these crazy roller coasters. You have a decent voice, Dave. Thank you very much. And we're live. YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow. Let's go. Have a bit of a weird voice, all right. A bit husky. Gravelly, is that what people call it? Probably should be a country and western song. Looking back. But guys, we'll stay on for another 10 minutes and we shall see what FSG cannot compete with anymore. Well, we know that, Gary. We know that. That's why maybe they're looking to sell. They realise they can't compete with PSG, Man City, Newcastle. There'll be probably more coming in the next 5-10 years. And they're saying, listen, we just can't compete here. We've done all we can do. We've given you our league after 30 years. We've given you our Champions League. We've given you 3 Champions League finals, League Cup, FA Cup, Super Club, World Club Cup for the first time ever. We've given you all that. Can we do any more, or have we done as much? We've got your ground up to a 61,000 seater by next year. Around the grounds, looking beautiful. We've given you the AXA training centre, top state of the art, world class players in like goalkeeper, centre half, midfield, forward line. Wow, they've been really good. People forget what they've done. They've made mistakes, absolutely made mistakes. Made mistakes with the furlough. They made mistakes in the transfer market and not being in the transfer market. And they've also made mistakes with the Super League. But I keep saying that Super League is going to come back to bite us. It's going to keep coming back. Keep coming back. Every year someone's going to talk about it. And eventually someone's going to catch on to it. We're going We're going to Poundland with 20 quid and only coming out with a Mars bar and a pencil and a ruler. Egyptian King FSG would go to Poundland and would still shoplift if they could. Well, it's going to be interesting, guys. As I say, there's a lot going to happen. Well, could happen this side of Christmas, really, couldn't it? Could it be a DIC under the Christmas tree for Liverpool with boxes of gifts of big huge transfers of maybe Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice type transfers under the Christmas tree in January? Possible. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Great to be in the Christmas gifts of DIC or FSG. Shopping in pennies at the moment. Time to shop in Brown Thomas's, Barry Sweeney. Well, Brown Thomas is our version of Harrods, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose. But look, we're not quite there yet, but we know what we need. We need one or two midfielders at least. And we need them in. We need one of them at least in January and another one probably even in the summer. So we know what we need. Klopp knows what we need. Julian Ward knows what. Mike Werner knows what we need. John W. Henry knows what we know. Gordon knows what we need. Tom Werner, sorry, and Mike Gordon know what we need. I want to wake up like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone and see DIC standing beside my Christmas tree with their silver gold tooth. Yeah, maybe. And then Klopp gets the iron in the face. What a film, Home Alone. The first one. Second one wasn't bad with the pigeon lady, Brenda Fricker from Dublin, of course, but Home Alone one's brilliant. I watch it every Christmas with my little girl, Christmas Eve especially. It's wow. Home Alone. We're almost there. We'll be 6 weeks away. I'm not going to get into Christmas, I suppose, because I'm a real nostalgic. It has to be December, at least December the 1st before we even talk about Christmas, or the Christmas tree goes up or lights go up. It has to be in the month of December. Otherwise, it's blasphemy. Egyptian King, doesn't the pigeon lady look like Piers Morgan? She does. I actually used to work with her nephew. There's another piece of trivia for you. Back in the 90s, his name was Fricker too. His auntie, it was Brenda Fricker, who was the pigeon lady. I always know somebody who knows somebody who knew somebody. LFC transfer room stating deal done regarding FSG to an unnamed Qatari bid. No idea how true this is. That LFC transfer room. Pinch of salt. Pinch of Salt Bay. You know, a bit of a... Anytime that comes up on Twitter, it's a bit of a Salt Bay on it. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. That's what I do to Twitter. When any dodgy Twitter thing comes up and it's just... You know what I mean? It's not a Paul Joyce. It's not a James Pearce. Even a Paul Gorst or a David Ornstein. It's going to get Salt Bay from me, baby. Salty Bay, basically. So, as I say, guys, Liverpool through the next round. 0-0 at Anfield. Kelleher, the hero. Caoimhe Kelleher, the hero. The Liverpool legendary goalkeeper, of course, hasn't played enough. And he really needs to be playing a lot more, doesn't he? To get past Ali, it's got to be tough. LFC transfer room, they didn't like it when I disagree with them, says Ravi. Well, there you go. How good can you be if you just don't like somebody because they don't agree with you or they have a different opinion? I mean, that's no use, is it? Football's all about opinions. That's what it's about. Life's all about opinions. Never mind football, especially football, though. It's all about opinions. See a good player, he's all right. But our team, like they're the best team in the world, I don't think so. It's about opinions. And that's... Look, if you've stopped having opinions of football, I'm certainly not going to be involved. I'd be gone a long time ago, you know what I mean? I'm just having a quick look here on the laptop to see, is there any other news that we can probably talk about, you know? Just happy to be in the next round, and it was a good experience for the young lads. That was the big thing that I took from tonight. The young 4 or 5 kids that played. Ben Doak coming on, what a dream for him. I'm sure his family were in the crowd. I mean, he's just 17. Wow, this guy's going to be... Remember that name, pin that name. Ben Doak, signed him from Celtic. What a player he could be, should be. Calvin Ramsey, another one. Great future ahead of him. Stefan Bjaticic in midfield. Leighton Stewart, Clark. Great, great name. Great to have them on the pitch. Even Nat Phillips playing tonight. The Maldini. He had a decent game as well tonight, to be fair. And Kelleher, the hero. Barella and De Jong would be nice in January, says Gary. Gary's going on his shopping spree in Harrods now. Gary's going on his shopping spree in Harrods. No more Lidl or Aldi. Straight into Harrods with Gary with his Frankie De Jong and Barella. Umbrella maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. A lot of talk about Barella. It's not going away, the Barella one. I don't see the Barella one, to be fair. I really don't. We need a Bellingham or a Declan Rice in January. That's what we need. It would transform that midfield, basically. We got one of them or both. Both would really transform it. But one of them would be Transformers combined. I wish Trent Doherty was on the bench tonight. He's a baller. Trent, yeah. Actually, Irish international under 21, under 19. Trent Coney Doherty, I think his name is. This is Football Channel. He is good for a bit of info. This is football. That chairman, I forget his name now. I don't really like him, to be honest. I don't go on to him. He just be on YouTube or Twitter, does he? I think it's the same person you're talking about. I don't know. I don't really look. I don't really have time to look at other channels. To be fair, I do look at a bit of Redman. Do look at a bit of Anfield Rap, of course. Jack from the Anfield Road TV. Doug at Football Channel. Connor from the Cop Council. All these guys, absolutely good mates. But I don't have bloody time. There's loads of bloody Liverpool channels. There's so many out there. Every day I find a new one. James Redmond TV is wanting DIC as well. James is a lovely lad. Young James, he's mad. He is. James Redmond. I think he's be on Cop TV, does he? It's with Alex. I think that's where he's going now. On Cop TV. I only come on for a 20-minute instant match reaction. I'm on now 66 minutes right now. I mean, there you go. We'll give it to 70 and I have to go because my voice is going. I want to save it for Friday night because I'm going to go live Friday night. Probably 7, half 7. Have your notifications on. We do a little Southampton FSG chat, of course, for the big game. The last game before the World Cup. Split up, basically. Liverpool will have 1 or 2 friendlies to play. They'll have to keep fresh. You know, because they've only got, 5, 6 players going away, and the rest will be there. You'll have players coming back from injury, you'll have players rocking and rolling. So it's going to be interesting what happens. It really is going to be. I wish to come off to Dublin maybe for a game, play one of the League of Ireland teams over here. That'd be really good, wouldn't it? Something like that. I might message one or two of the Liverpool. You'd wonder why they wouldn't do it, actually. I haven't been in Ireland in a while. I think last night he played Napoli in a friendly. I was at the game in Dublin in the Aviva Stadium. Beat them 5-0, I think it was. 4-0 or 5-0 we beat Napoli in a friendly. That was a ridiculous game. Aren't Liverpool going to a camp in Dubai as well? Yes, they are. Go to a warm weather camp. Absolutely a warm weather camp. You have to go to that. Game not on TV Saturday, Dave. It might be on Premier Sports. Premier Sports do the 3 o'clock kickoffs over here in Ireland. Premier 1 and 2, I have them as part of the BT package, BT Sports package. So could be on there. I don't know. I didn't check. But I'd love it to be on because the last game before bloody Christmas and I want to see the Reds playing. They weren't on normal television tonight. They were on some dodgy bloody streams. And I wasn't quite right watching. I was only catching bits of it. And I wasn't like watching the whole bloody game. So very frustrating. Dave, are you doing anything with Nothing But Reds anytime soon? That's Kyle, I think you're talking about. Nothing But Red. I presume you're talking about the American guy, Kyle. I know him. I haven't never done that with him before. He follows me on Twitter and stuff like that. I follow him, but I've never done that. I just don't look. I don't even have bloody time. I do the odd interview, like chats with people. Then I do the show with Keith and Ivan. Sometimes Jack comes on or Doug comes on. Just, and when I'm on here, I can't bring anybody on at the moment because this is just YouTube exclusively. This isn't StreamYard where you see this surround and you can bring people in. On YouTube, you can't. It's just pure YouTube. I'm just trying this out for a while. Seem to get a lot of people in, though, for the instant match reactions. But I will be doing StreamYard with Keith and Ivan because otherwise I can't have them on. So I'll do a Friday night for a big Southampton build-up show. And we'll do something probably Sunday to finish this part of the Premier League off, sign off, and then say what we're going to be doing for the 4 or 5 weeks. We're keeping an eye on Liverpool and their sunny Dubai camp. Keeping an eye on FSG. What are they doing? Are they staying? Are they going? Are they spending? Are they transfer windows? Who's coming in? Who's going out? It'll all start building up now towards January. So there's going to be a lot to talk about still, guys. And I might even mix it up one night and talk about absolutely anything. Cartoons, movies, 80s, 90s, favourite cartoons, food. Talk about anything. We'll do a mad bloody trivia crazy show some Friday night with a beer. Have a beer ready. Something like that. We do a bit of stuff just to keep going. At least once a week. So I'm going to leave it there. We're 69 minutes in. This is Dave's LFC Chats. Hit the like, hit the share on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube, of course. But Liverpool are into the next round of the Carabao Cup. As holders, of course, we beat Derby County on penalties tonight, 3-2. Harvey Elliott getting The all-decisive penalty after a 0-0 draw. A lot of youngsters played tonight. Great experience for the young guy. Young Ben Doak came on to make his debut. What a night for him. Calvin Ramsey was particularly good tonight, but it was the hero, the Irish goalkeeper, Caoimhe Kelleher. What a night. Saving penalties, really good. The hero again, as he was in the final against Chelsea. Great show, Dave. And come on, DIC, we are waiting. You'll never walk alone. Egyptian King, thank you very much, guys. Stay safe. Talk soon. This means more. Cheers.